Hello everyone, I'm Bruffy1322 and this video is going to show the fastest fully upgraded motorcycles in terms of top speed. We're quickly going to go over the slowest vehicles right now, and as always the position counter is in the top left with the actual top speed the bike achieved in the top right. This video only focuses on straight line performance, so if you're interested in racing where braking, cornering and acceleration are all relevant, check the link in the description for the lap time testing series, and if you want to know more information about this testing including the extent to which it's accurate and how useful it is for you personally, have a read of the full description as everything that you need is in there. This video lists all bikes and is correct as of the Supersport series update. For vehicles added after that or other classes of cars, check the playlist linked in the second line of the description, and feel free to check out my Patreon if you want to get these testing results a few days before the videos go up every Thursday. So largely the 2018 top speed video is exactly the same as the 2017 top speed video for motorcycles, with a few notable differences, and the reason that there are those differences I'm going to explain in a little while. But when it comes to the lap time testing for the motorcycles, that is exactly the same. So as you'll understand when I explain why there are differences for top speed, the lap times have not changed at all. So I'm not going to be making a 2018 lap times video for the motorcycles unless we get lots of motorcycles in a future DLC, because the lap times are exactly the same. So if you look at the lap time testing playlist, you'll see after the cars we've got the motorcycles and then a special video for the Oppressor as well. There's no point in me making a 2018 video just to include the Oppressor when all the lap times are already there. Everything's exactly the same, so that's why you're not going to see a 2018 version of the motorcycles video, and that goes for also coupes, sedans, SUVs as well. None of those have had any new cars, none of those are any different, all the lap times are exactly the same, so those don't need 2018 specific videos until we get some new cars with them. So the top speeds, now like I said, most of these top speeds are exactly the same as what we saw from the 2017 video, but there are a few notable differences when we get to the top end of the video and of the class. Now the reason for that, obviously we're including the Oppressor with this as well, so this contains all the bikes in one video, but the reason that some of the bikes have different top speeds is twofold. The first one is that my testing methods originally were lacking for some of the bikes, and I have to thank Oleg for pointing this out to me, and I want to apologise to everybody for not getting this done sooner, but in reality it doesn't make too much of a difference to the ultimate top speeds. If you go back and look at the 2017 video, the general list of the top bikes and the bikes that have been affected by this is pretty much the same order. It's just that the top bikes have had a few extra mile per hour added onto their top speed in comparison to what I found originally. And the problem was that with bikes that, obviously we all know that when you wheelie with a bike it goes quicker, so to get the best speeds, the best top speeds, the best acceleration from a motorcycle in GTA, you have to be wheeling with it, with a few notable exceptions which I'll point out, but wheeling is the key to getting speed. Now in that original testing video I wasn't pulling up the front wheel, wheeling with the bikes early enough in the testing phase, so the vehicles that can get a higher level of wheelie, meaning that their front wheel comes much higher off the ground than most other bikes, those vehicles didn't get a chance to build up that top speed as much as, I wasn't letting them build up that top speed as much because I was not wheeling with them early enough on the straight towards where I measure the top speeds from. Obviously I measure all top speeds between the two checkpoints, but I wasn't wheeling early enough before those two checkpoints for them to build up that speed. So it only affects a small number of bikes, and that's why most of the bikes are getting the same top speeds as what you'll see, because most bikes don't really wheelie all that well in the first place. A lot of them, they bring up their front wheel a little bit, which does help, it's better than just doing nothing or leaning forward, but in any way they're not bringing that front wheel up enough for this sort of difference in the way that I was testing to actually affect the results that I was getting. So it's only the top few bikes that we'll see that have significant changes, and it's obviously those are the bikes that can bring that front wheel up higher off the ground, and they get a few extra mile per hour basically on top of the top speeds that I found originally because they're able to spend more time building up that top speed. The first one in this list that we'll see that has a different top speed to 2017 is the Sanchez. So the Sanchez has got a great wheelie on it, so that gets, I think it's only a couple of miles per hour higher top speed than what it did. Like I said before, that nothing has changed with the bike itself. It gets the same lap time as before. It's just my testing methods were lacking, honestly, for some of these bikes. So the second thing is that there's one bike in particular that got a double whammy with this. It wasn't just that I wasn't wheeling enough with it. It was also that I forgot to put the upgrades on it. Now the upgrades were, for some reason, the upgrades were applied to the bike for the lap time testing. So the lap time testing is right. I went back and tested it, and it gets the same lap time, fully upgraded as what I found originally. But it didn't have the upgrades on when I was doing the top speed testing, and I couldn't believe it when I found that out. It's crazy that I can make that mistake. I mean, I guess I've tested 400 vehicles multiple times. I'm bound to make a mistake here or there, but for that to have happened, I just couldn't believe it. So not only the bike that is the second placed bike in this list that you'll see in a few minutes time. So that has gained more than what it originally had from the 2017 video. I think it's gained an extra 10 miles per hour to its top speed, because on the one hand it suffered from me not wheeling early enough with it, because it does have a monstrous wheelie as well, and I forgot to upgrade it, or at least something happened that made the upgrades not on it just for the top speed testing for some bizarre reason. So yeah, that is our second placed bike, which has gained quite a few positions because of that, and a significant increase in top speed. All of the other bikes are pretty much in exactly the same position that they were, there or thereabouts, and they've gained an extra 3 or 4 miles per hour onto their top speed from what we saw from 2017. So now we're into the top 10. This is where we start to see some of the differences that I've been talking about. The Shotaro is one of those unique bikes where it doesn't matter whether you lean forward or wheelie, you'll be getting exactly the same top speed. So you can just lean forward on it and it's going to get the highest speed that it can. Wheeling isn't going to really make that much of a difference. And it gets a top speed of 123.8 to put it into 10th place, just behind the Carbon RS in 9th place. An older vehicle, but we've still got a few of those to come as well. The bikes are... At this point, the bikes get very quick, basically. The bottom end of the bikes class isn't all that impressive in terms of top speed, but as soon as we get to sort of this top 10 range, we start to see some incredible top speeds, and ultimately when we get to basically the top 4 vehicles, we'll see the quickest land vehicles in the game in terms of top speed. They beat all supercars, all that kind of stuff. Well, apart from, the Vigilante, I suppose, but they beat all supercars. Even the Pariah can't beat some of the very, very top motorcycles, but it has closed up at least a little bit at the top end, I guess you could say. Overall, some cars can be there or thereabouts these days. Cliffhanger was in 8th place and the Gargoyle is in 7th place, 125 miles per hour pretty much for both of them. But remember that the Gargoyle does have a glitch on it with a specific type of rear wheel, which I've covered in a previous video. I'll leave a link to that down below in the description. I tried to do all my testing without the influence of any glitches or anything like that, so this is its normal top speed. 6th place for the Hakucho Drag. This is a very interesting vehicle because it is actually quicker to lean forward with it than it is to wheelie with it. So with the Shotaro, it was no difference between wheeling and leaning forward. With the Hakucho Drag, it is actually quicker to lean forward. You'll get a higher top speed, better acceleration leaning forward with it than you would trying to pull a wheelie, and that is unique. I'm pretty sure it's the only bike that does that. So into the top 5 is the Ruffian in 5th place. This has had a significant difference because of like I said, the lacking testing methods that I did before. The Ruffian's increased its top speed by about 5 miles per hour if I remember correctly, and that has managed to put it up into 5th place overall. So pretty good showing from the Ruffian. It's got a decent top speed. And then in 4th place we start to see the really, really high top speeds. So 4th place we've got the standard Hakucho. Again, this is the one where you're going to have to wheelie with it. All of these bikes from top 5 onwards have incredible wheelies, apart from the number 1 spot really, but that gets its speed from any elsewhere. 134.0 miles per hour for the Hakucho. 2 miles per hour slower than the Pariah, but significantly quicker than what we saw from the Ruffian in 5th. And then in 3rd place, we've got the Bati 801. Super cheap bike, a really great way to go quick. 135 miles per hour you'll be going at the very top end if you keep that wheelie up with it. It's got a great wheelie on it, and it can get really high top speeds. For an original OG bike when the game was first released, that's a great top speed. Really cheap way to go fast. 2nd place is the BF 400. This is the bike that I said didn't have the upgrades on. It also has a monstrous wheelie. As you can see, it is absolutely ridiculous, and as long as you can keep that wheelie up with it, it will get an incredible top speed. 137.0 miles per hour, 1 mile per hour quicker than the quickest car in the game of the Pariah. But ultimately the number one is of course the Oppressor with a top speed of 140.0 miles per hour. At this point, feel free to subscribe if you haven't already for new testing videos every Thursday and update videos when new cars are released, and check out other classes in the playlist. But the Oppressor, you know, this is its kind of average speed basically. It goes up to immediately 150 miles per hour when it boosts, and then it jumps right back down again, you know, when it's not boosting. So you're only at 150 miles per hour instantaneously at the very top end of the boost, and then you go back down to less than 140 miles per hour, say 130 or so, 120 when you're not boosting. So 140 miles per hour is its average speed that you will be going along a long straight like this. It is quicker, you know, it is the quickest bike in the game on a flat because of that rocket on the back, as you can see from the comparison between this and the BF 400. There's not an awful lot between them, but ultimately the Oppressor is the quickest motorcycle in the game, and we have rocket powered vehicles at the very top end of the supercars class and the motorcycles class as well. So it's not really to be, you know, that's to be expected, I guess. They've got big rockets on the back, of course they're going to be quick. But that is it. That's the top speed video finally made correct, finally fixed, finally sorted. Like I said, I apologize for not doing this earlier, but finally we've got it done, and you know the actual top speeds of these bikes going forward. So that's pretty much it. Remember to read the description for more info, comment with your thoughts, like the video if you enjoyed it, found it helpful, subscribe for more, and consider supporting on Patreon. Thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you next time.